This is Sarah Mitchell, right? Are you ready for your final interview tomorrow? How's your mental preparation for this?
I'm sorry, who is this? I received your message, but I don't have this number saved on my phone.
What? You don't have this number saved? You've gone through multiple rounds of interviews with us and you don't recognize who this could be?
I apologize, but it's for security reasons. I don't respond to unsaved numbers without verification. Could you please identify yourself before we continue the conversation?
And you still think you're serious about working at our bank? This kind of caution might be good for banking, but it's quite cold, don't you think?
You're from the bank that I've been interviewing with, I assume? I just want to be certain who I'm speaking with.
Of course I'm from the bank. Did you think this was just a random message? I specifically looked up your contact information to help you with the next step.
I appreciate that, but could you please tell me your name and position? It would help me understand the context of this conversation better.
This is Parker. I was one of your interviewers last week. I'm the HR director, so I'll be at your final interview tomorrow, too. We're looking forward to seeing you again. You were quite impressive in the previous rounds.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry I didn't recognize your name and your contact info. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, too. Thank you so much for reaching out.
That's it? Just thank you for reaching out? After I took time from my Sunday evening to text you?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Was there anything wrong? What do you mean? I genuinely appreciate you checking in on me before the interview.
Do you know how many candidates we're interviewing for this role? How many applications I had to review for this? I chose to reach out to you personally, and all you say is thank you?
I understand this is a competitive position. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to interview again. Was there something specific you wanted to discuss with me about tomorrow?
I reached out to help support you for tomorrow's final interview. I'm being so kind to you, and all I get is a simple thank you? Most candidates would be more enthusiastic about this kind of personal attention from their interviewer.
I apologize if I seemed ungrateful about this. What would be the appropriate way to show my appreciation? I want to make sure I understand your expectations.
You're quite formal in your messages. Almost too formal, if you ask me. We should fix that before tomorrow. The banking industry is all about personal connections.
I see. How would you suggest I adjust my communication style?
Well, for starters, you could be more friendly. You can be more open to building relationships. After all, your future career might depend on it.
I try to maintain professional boundaries with my interviewers, especially during the interview process. I hope you understand.
Professional boundaries, is that what you call it? I'm trying to help you here. Do you know how many candidates would love this kind of personal attention?
I appreciate your interest in helping me succeed. But I'd prefer to focus on the formal interview process. Could you tell me more about what to expect tomorrow?
You're always so proper, so careful with your words. I'm free tomorrow night. I could give you a private interview if you'd like.
A private interview? I'm sorry, I really don't understand what you mean. Could you clarify the purpose of this private interview?
Let's say you make some mistakes in tomorrow's final interview. This would be a follow-up private interview to make up for that. Think of it as insurance. A backup plan. Everyone needs one of those, right?
I see. So that's what you mean. You're suggesting an unofficial interview after hours outside of the office?
Don't make it sound so formal. Just see it as two professionals having a conversation. Just building connections. That's how the real world works. You do want to work in the real world, don't you?
The real world also has professional standards. and ethical guidelines, which I intend to follow no matter which company I interview for.
You sound just like those HR training videos. All rules and no flexibility. Is that really how you want to start your career?
I believe following proper procedures is important, especially in banking. Wouldn't you agree?
That's such a serious response. You're making this more complicated than it needs to be. I'm offering to help you to ensure you get this position. To mentor you. Guide your career so you can be successful.
So you're assuming I'll make mistakes? I appreciate your concern, but that won't be necessary. I plan to be myself and speak honestly during the interview, so please don't worry about that. While I appreciate the offer of follow-up support, I'd prefer to handle things like this on my own.
Handle things on your own? That's quite presumptuous. You think you can succeed in banking alone? Without any support? Without any friends?
I believe in building professional relationships through appropriate channels, during business hours, in professional settings, not outside or after hours.
Pretty bold talk for someone who's about to get rejected for this role. Very bold indeed. Almost arrogant, I'd say.
Is that a threat towards me?
A threat? Why would I threaten you? I told you I'm the HR director, right? I have the final say in all hiring decisions for all the candidates. And are you sure about this? About taking this tone with me?
What exactly do you mean? It feels like you're just trying to pressure me. Are you saying I won't get an offer unless I spend evening hours with you outside of work? I want to be very clear about what's being suggested here.
See, now you're putting words in my mouth. I never said anything about offers or conditions. I can't say that explicitly, but you should think carefully about what this means. All I can say is that your decision now will affect your future career. Not just in our bank, but in the industry. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true of any decision, isn't it? Every choice affects our future somehow. I'm sorry, but I have plans tomorrow evening, and I don't think it's appropriate to meet privately with anyone before officially starting work, so I'll have to decline. I hope you understand my position.
Plans? Unbelievable! You have something more important than your career? Than your future? More important than this opportunity I'm offering you?
I've explained my position already, and my mind will not change. I've told you clearly and professionally. I don't think there's anything more to discuss right now.
Don't blame me for what happens in tomorrow's interview, then. I had no idea you were this unprofessional, this ungrateful, this naive. You're going to regret this, I can promise you that. Mark my words.
I don't understand what you mean by that, but I don't think I've said anything inappropriate to you, so I'll be fine. Thank you for your concern and attention. I look forward to a professional interview tomorrow.
Professional? You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. A true professional would understand the importance of networking, of building relationships, of taking opportunities when they're offered.
I understand the importance of networking and building relationships, but they should be based on mutual respect and professional boundaries.
Professional boundaries again. You really are something else. We'll see how far those boundaries get you. We'll see indeed. This is beyond unprofessional. Your attitude is very concerning. How did you even make it to the final round of the interview process? You're not listening to what I say. You're rejecting good advice, and you still want to work at our bank?
I'm preparing for tomorrow's interview. I would appreciate some space to focus so I can prepare for it.
Space? You want space? When I'm trying to help you? Are you hiding something? Is there something in your background check I should know about?
Nothing to hide. My qualifications are all in my application. Everything is properly documented for you guys to see.
Properly documented? There's more to success than just documents. Much more. But you don't seem to understand that.
I understand perfectly well. I just disagree with your methods.
My methods? I'm offering you invaluable guidance, industry insights, career advancement opportunities, and you're questioning my methods?
I don't question your position or authority. Just the appropriateness of this conversation, especially at this hour.
This hour? Banking never sleeps. We work all hours of every day. That's what you're signing up for. Or did you think this was a 9-to-5 job?
I understand the demands of the industry, but this isn't about work hours. This is about appropriate professional conduct.
You keep saying appropriate and professional, like some kind of robot. Is that what you think banking is? Following rule books?
I don't understand what you're implying. It's getting late, so I should go. Thank you for contacting me. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's interview.
Going so soon? When I'm trying to have a serious discussion about your future? Your career? Is it not important to you?
Yes, I need to rest before the interview tomorrow. I want to be at my best for the interview.
Your best? You've got some nerve coming to our interviews, acting all proper and professional when you're hiding things.
Hiding things? What exactly are you suggesting?
Your background, your family situation. Didn't think that would come up, did you? Didn't think we'd check thoroughly?
My family situation? I don't see how that's relevant to interview for this position.
Of course! Everything is relevant. Everything matters in banking, especially background, especially family. Didn't expect some poor kid from a broken home trying to sneak into our ranks, did you?
Wow, you really went there. Your behavior hasn't been very professional either. Is this how you treat all candidates when they interview with your company?
Don't turn this around on me! What would a college student know about being professional? You're the one being completely unprofessional here, hiding your background, pretending to be something you're not!
I haven't hidden anything about my background. My application is completely honest. There are no lies on it, including my family background.
Honest? As if some bottom feeder from a single-parent household could work at our prestigious bank? You should have mentioned this earlier. Saved everyone's time.
The way you completely changed when you found out I'm from a single-parent home? Is this really how a major bank's HR director should act? Should candidates be judged on family status?
Don't lecture me about judgment. Poor people don't get hired here, period. That's just how it works. I'd love to see your parents' faces when they realize that their kid won't make it. You unprofessional brat.
I'm saving all these messages. All of them. Just so you know.
Save whatever you want. I don't care what you do. No one will believe you. It's your word against mine. And who do you think they'll believe? HR director or some random candidate that happens to get to the final round of the interview process?
Are you aware of how disrespectful you're being? This is beyond inappropriate, but you should really think about what you're doing. Actions have consequences.
Consequences? No bank will hire you! Not after I'm done! Why did you even apply here? What made you think you belonged?
I applied because I'm qualified for this role. My family status doesn't change that.
Qualified? On paper, maybe. But there's more to banking than grades. More to success than test scores. Aren't you ashamed of being poor? Of coming from a broken home?
Your taunting is getting really unprofessional. You seem very confident in your position. Does being an HR director at a major bank give you the right to damage people's reputations? To discriminate based on family status?
Whatever, say what you want, none of it matters to me. You rejected my generous offer, my attempt to help you. At the end of the day, I have the final word to say who gets hired and who gets rejected. This is why I hate poor people. Always playing the victim. You're clearly unprofessional and definitely not getting hired. What a waste of time this has been. Should have checked your background first, before wasting everyone's time.
Are you finished? Or is there more discrimination you'd like to share?
I'd really love to see your parents' faces when they hear about this. When they realize their kid failed. Must be quite something to raise such an unprofessional daughter in such a broken home.
Maybe you should tone down the bullying towards the candidates. You seem to be having fun insulting my father, but you're going to regret this. More than you know.
Regret? No way! I don't want anything to do with poor people anyway, so this worked out. If you'd accepted my invitation, I might have considered you, but I guess that was too complicated for someone so unprofessional. Someone from your background.
You keep using that word, unprofessional. But everything you've done tonight is unprofessional. Everything you've said is inappropriate.
Save your lectures. A troubled family sneaking into our final interviews. Did you think we wouldn't find out? You're rejected. Don't bother showing up tomorrow. I really would love to see your parents' faces. To tell them personally why their kid failed.
Well, if you're so interested in meeting my father...
What's that supposed to mean? Another threat? From someone in your position?
Okay then, I'll just call my dad for you. Since you're so eager to meet him.
Please do! I'd love to explain to him why his daughter isn't cut out for banking. Why she doesn't belong here.
He says he can come see you in about an hour. I'm looking forward to you meeting my father. He's quite interested in this conversation.
What? An hour? Wait, who exactly is your father? What do you mean he's coming?
You wanted to meet him, right? You mentioned it several times in our texts. He's eager to discuss your hiring practices.
Now, hold on a minute. There's no need to escalate this. Let's discuss this professionally, like adults.
Professionally? Now you want to be professional? After everything you've said to me?
Perhaps I was a bit harsh earlier. The stress of hiring season, you understand, right? We could start fresh tomorrow. Forget this conversation ever happened.
It's too late for that. My father's already on his way to come meet you. Particularly interested in your comments about bottom feeders.
Listen, Sarah. I may have spoken out of turn. I said some things I didn't mean. Heat of the moment, you know?
Interesting how your tone has changed. You sound nervous. Is something wrong?
Sarah, could we possibly redo the final interview? I deeply apologize for my previous behavior. I regret my disrespectful comments. Please let me conduct another interview. A proper one this time.
No thanks. I thought I was just a poor kid from a broken home. Why the sudden change of heart?
About that, I was completely out of line. Those comments were unprofessional. Please, let's start over. I'll make it right.
Make it right? After threatening my career? After mocking my family? After trying to force a private meeting?
Why not give me a chance to apologize? I'll make sure you get the job. Just please come back. We can forget this whole thing. Start fresh tomorrow.
No thanks. I have no interest in seeing your face again. You're too disrespectful and unpleasant, and I don't like that calculating look in your eyes, so I don't see any value in meeting again. Besides, my father is very interested in meeting you.
Your father? Who exactly is he? What department does he work in?
Oh, now you want details? Now you're interested in my background?
Please, Sarah, let's be reasonable. Please don't say that. I'll apologize for my bad behavior. Formally, in writing, whatever you want.
I see you've met my father. I introduced him just like you wanted. Satisfied? My father's an executive VP that everyone in the bank knows. Still think I'm a bottom feeder from a troubled home? Do you still want to mock our family status?
Not at all! I had no idea you were Mr. Mitchell's daughter! This is all a terrible misunderstanding. If I had known...
If you had known. So it's only okay to harass candidates if their fathers aren't executives? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I meant! You look pretty pale after meeting my dad. Did he show you the messages?
All of them. Every single one. I just did what you asked and introduced my wonderful father. Hope you now understand just how disrespectful you were. How inappropriate your behavior was.
Please, let me apologize on my knees. I just apologized to Mr. Mitchell, and he immediately said, I'm fired. Of course, I know it's not that simple to fire someone, but this will destroy my position in the company. Could you please talk to your father? Put in a good word. Explain it was all a misunderstanding?
A misunderstanding? Which part? The harassment? The discrimination? The threats?
I was just trying to help you through the hiring process, to mentor promising candidates. Your father must understand that.
Help? By demanding private meetings after hours? By threatening my career? By mocking my family background?
Please, Sarah, think about my position, my career, my family! Please, talk to your father and tell him it was all a misunderstanding.
Oh, now you care about families. Now that it's your family at stake? How ironic.
I can make this right. Just give me a chance. Tell your father it was a joke. A test, maybe. Anything.
No. You made your choices. Now face the consequences. Just like you said, every decision affects our future, right?
No, that's not it at all. Please, let me explain everything. I was just trying to encourage nervous candidates. I had no ulterior motives whatsoever. Your father needs to understand this. Please talk to him.
Really? Then why did you only contact female candidates? Interesting pattern there.
That's not true. I mentor many candidates. All kinds of candidates. This is a huge misunderstanding.
Is that why the other women at today's final interview said they got messages from you too? All with similar generous offers. Similar private meetings. Some pattern that you use, wouldn't you say?
They're lying. This is a conspiracy. They're just trying to cause trouble.
I have their messages also. All the screenshots. And all the timestamps. This isn't the first time you've done this, is it? That's a complete abuse of power. Getting fired is the least of what you deserve. Actually, you might be lucky if firing is all that happens.
What do you mean? What are you saying? What's happening? I can't lose my job over something small like this.
Over this. For us job seekers, this search is our life's battle, our future, our careers. Using our vulnerable position for your own purposes, aren't you the lowest? This isn't just some small thing.
Please, you don't understand. I'm sorry. That was poorly worded. But I really didn't mean it that way. So could you please explain that to your father? It's all a misunderstanding. I can't lose my job over a misunderstanding. I worked so hard to become HR director. 20 years in this industry.
You should have thought about that before. Before the harassment. Before the discrimination. Before preying on your candidates.
I wasn't preying on anyone. I was just networking. I was building relationships. That's just how business works.
Is that what you call it? Threatening all these people's careers? Demanding private meetings outside of the office? Mocking their family backgrounds?
I understand. I apologize. I'm sorry for everything that I've said. You're absolutely right. Sarah, I am truly sorry. If needed, I'll get on my knees right now. Anything you want. Can you forgive me? Please?
This isn't about forgiveness. It's over as far as I'm concerned. The investigation will handle everything else.
Investigation? What investigation? What do you mean it's over? I'm about to lose my entire career over this stupid thing. How can you say it's over? Don't you understand what's at stake?
Your true colors are showing again. What do you mean by stupid thing? I've told you multiple times this isn't stupid to us. To any of the candidates you've harassed. Since you clearly don't get it, I'm done here. Goodbye.
Wait! Another poor choice of words! I'm really sorry. Look, I'll make sure you get hired here, so please just come back for a moment. I want to apologize to you in person and make this right.
I've said multiple times I don't want to see your face again. Besides, whatever you say, I'm already sent to work there anyway. Obviously. Of course I worked hard and made it this far on my own merit, but now that you know I'm Mitchell's daughter, who would dare reject me? I don't need any help from you. I never did.
What? No way! But what? So I'm really getting fired over some text messages?
No, you are getting fired over harassment, over discrimination, over abuse of power, for preying on your candidates. The texts are just evidence that we can use against you.
Please, just give me one more chance. I'll do anything. Change departments. Take a demotion. Anything, please. Just don't fire me.
Yep, that's not my problem. Later, creepy old perv. Reflect on your actions forever. And remember, karma always comes around.
Wait! You can't just leave it like this. At least hear me out. I have a family too. Children to support.
Oh, now you want to talk about family? After mocking mine and saying terrible things to me? After using family status to discriminate?
Please, I'm begging you. Just give me 5 minutes. Face to face. Let me explain everything, please.
You've explained enough already. Through all these messages. Every threat. every insult, every attempt at coercion. There's no need for further conversation.
Those messages were a mistake. I wasn't thinking clearly. The pressure of hiring season, the stress of the job.
Interesting. So stress makes you harass candidates? Pressure makes you discriminate? Is that your defense?
No, that's not what I meant. I'm a good person. Ask anyone in the industry. 20 years of service, perfect record.
Perfect record? The other candidates might disagree. The ones you've been messaging. The ones you've been threatening. The ones you've been meeting privately.
Those were professional meetings. Mentoring sessions. Career guidance. Nothing inappropriate.
Save it for the investigation. I'm sure they'll be very interested in your mentoring methods, in your expense reports, in your message history.
Please, I'll do anything. Name your price, whatever you want.
And now trying to bribe me because you know who my father is? You really don't learn, do you? You keep digging that hole deeper. I'm sure the investigators will love this too.
Don't twist my words. I'm just trying to make things right. To fix this. To save my career.
Your career? That's all you care about? Not the people you've hurt? Not the lives you've affected? Not the trust you've betrayed?
I can change. Give me a chance. I'll prove it. I'll be a better person.
Too late for that. Way too late. Actions have consequences. Time to face yours.
You're destroying me. Over some text messages? This isn't fair. You're ruining everything.
No, you destroyed yourself. With every threat, every insult, every abuse of power. I'm just showing people who you really are.
You don't understand. This job is everything to me. My whole life. My identity.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you need to lose it all. To understand what you've done. To see how it feels. To be powerless. To be at someone else's mercy.
Please, just one more chance. I'm begging you.
Goodbye, Mr. Parker. Enjoy unemployment. And remember, every time you apply for a job, every time you face rejection, every time you feel powerless, remember how you treated others when you had the power.
Sarah, please!
In the end, investigations revealed that Parker had a history of contacting candidates and trying to force inappropriate relationships using company funds. He was reported to the police and obviously fired from the bank. Information was circulated throughout the banking industry to prevent him from ever working in the field again. The police involvement and permanent industry blacklisting led to him losing his career. He had to pay compensation to the bank and apologize to his previous victims. Sarah doesn't care what happened to him after that. Parker deeply regrets his actions now that he's hit rock bottom, but it's far too late. Apparently, he's enjoying his new life as a bottom feeder now.
Hey there, Jane. I need to have a little talk with you about your conduct around the office. So, if you have a minute, I'd like you to respond to these texts, as the things we need to discuss are really quite serious. I'm sorry that we can't discuss them in person, but they are so serious that I had to reach out to you right away. You do realize that you're just a regular employee, right? You're not a supervisor or manager or anything like that. And yet I've heard that you were chastising my daughter earlier today. Do you think that you have that kind of authority around here? I'm sorry, but I would really like to know just why you think that kind of behavior is appropriate around here. Now, I'm just curious what made you think that it was appropriate for someone in your position to go and do something like that, because I don't recall those privileges ever being in your contract, and I don't think I see other employees going around acting the way that you were towards my daughter.
Hello, Mr. Perry. I take it that you're talking to me about the conversation that I had with your daughter Lily earlier today, yes? I mean, I suppose there really couldn't be any other example of me chastising your daughter that you could be talking about. Well, the thing is that she has been showing up to work almost an hour late every day for several weeks now. Now, I don't mean to presume any kind of authority around here that I don't have, but the fact of the matter is that her behavior has been putting us behind schedule for some time now. And while I'm not an official supervisor, I was tasked with looking after her while she learns the ropes of the job, so I was only trying to help her understand the importance of being at work on time. After all, I just wanted to make sure that she knew the effect her actions were having on the company and wanted to make sure she was also aware of the consequences of her actions. I wasn't trying to chastise or bully her, but I thought that she should know it wasn't okay to do that. I really didn't mean to overstep my authority in doing any of this at all, but I wanted to make it clear the consequences of her behavior. In fact, I'm glad you're reaching out to me about this. I was hoping that you could talk to her about this problem as well. As I mentioned earlier, this isn't the first or even second or third time that she has done something like this. This is a much more serious problem that the whole office has been having with her.
What in the world are you talking about? You have got a lot of nerve even trying to talk to me, your boss, in that way. Honestly, just who do you think you are trying to tell me what is best or what is not best for my company? If I wanted to have you input on how to deal with employees, then you would have been hired at the managerial level. Didn't you ever consider that? I really have no idea just where you get off talking to me, much less my daughter, in that way.
I'm sorry, did I say something wrong? I really wasn't trying to step on anyone's toes. It's just that I was told to show her the ropes. It's like I was saying, her behavior was putting the whole team behind schedule, and so I just wanted to make sure she realized that she was actually impacting people around her through her actions.
And now my daughter is absolutely furious. Tell me, do you talk to my daughter in that same condescending tone when you try and show her the ropes? I mean, really, I just have no idea what in the world would make you think that you can talk to any other employee in the office, let alone my daughter, in the way that she was telling me you talked to her. I really just don't understand how a mature adult could ever think that that is acceptable. You should know that I'm her father, and I know very well that she's a capable worker who doesn't need someone of your standing telling her what to do. And if I ever thought that she needed someone to talk to her about her performance around here, then as her father, I would see to that myself, thank you very much.
I'm sorry, but are you telling me that I shouldn't have told her to stop showing up to work so late every day? I'm just a little confused. I know that I might not be your daughter's manager or anything like that, but I don't think it's unreasonable for one coworker to say to another that their behavior is causing problems around the office and that it's important that they try and fix it.
I'm the head of this division. Don't you think I'm already aware of when people are showing up on time and when they're late? You're not seeming to understand that I don't pay you to keep an eye on what other people are doing. I pay you to do your job and shut up, and that's it. If I had a problem with my daughter showing up late, then I would say something about it. Didn't that thought ever even cross your mind? Do you really think that you know better what this office does and doesn't need, and how these projects are or are not going to get done than I do? If that were the case, then you would be the boss and I would be in your position.
I'm sorry, I'm really confused here. Are you telling me that you're okay with your daughter acting this way around the office? That just doesn't sound right. I am sure that there have been other people who have worked for this company who have had conversations with their coworkers about their behavior and fixing it. This all seems a bit like an overreaction to a simple misunderstanding.
I'm telling you that you have got a lot of nerve thinking that you can go and yell at my daughter about how to do her job. I don't know how many times you're gonna make me repeat myself over this point, but I'm ready to keep going over the same thing over and over again until you finally get it. You're nothing but a little peon in this company. You're a replaceable worker drone who seems to have forgotten their place. So why don't you remember that the next time you think to open your mouth and say something that's outside the parameters of your job, huh?
Mr. Perry, I'm really sorry if I've done something wrong. I didn't mean to overstep my authority, but I don't think there's any need to talk to me like this. I mean, really, I am not trying to tell you how to do your job at all either, but I think that this is a very inappropriate way to handle this conversation, especially given the fact that this all has to do with the way I talk to your daughter. I only told your daughter what I said because I was tasked with showing her how things work around here. She was behaving in such a way that was negatively impacting those around her, and I just wanted to make sure she was aware of the consequences of her actions. Can we please just calm down and try to think about this a little more rationally? I mean, would you be okay with any other employee showing up that late? I just can't seem to wrap my head around why it is that you're acting this way towards me about all of this. You've warned plenty of others not to be late. I was only taking after your example. And again, I don't think in any other scenario that anyone would be acting this drastically towards what I said to your daughter. I really do think that I was well within my rights to do what I did.
I don't care what you thought you were doing. The fact of the matter is that you talked to my daughter like that and now she's upset. And if you think anything is going to take precedent over how my daughter feels, then you've got another think coming. I don't care what you think about how this should have been handled or how I'm handling it now. If I wanted your opinion on any of that, then I'd ask for it. Do you get me? So clearly you don't know how to handle helping other employees if all you do is make them cry. What did you even say to her that made her so upset? You're going on about how reasonable you were acting, but haven't taken responsibility for all of the hurt that you put her through.
Mr. Perry, I really don't know what to say to this except that I feel this anger is really uncalled for. I understand why you're upset, and I certainly didn't mean to upset your daughter over what she did, but I still think that I was within my rights to speak up. I really don't think there's any need for you to get this upset over what I said to Lily. I mean, I recall quite well what I said, and I don't think it was any more or any less than what I would have said to any other employee acting the same way that she was. And I'm sorry, but I still don't understand why you're even this upset with me to begin with. I was asked to oversee Lily as she starts working here. I have seniority over her just by virtue of how long I've been in the office. So I get that I'm not her manager or her supervisor, but it's also not like I don't have any authority or knowledge beyond what she does either. I'm sorry, but this whole thing just feels blown out of proportion to me. I really can't see how I did anything that would be considered inappropriate given my position in the company. I truly apologize for any hurt feelings, but I think that I spoke very professionally and didn't say anything that I wouldn't say to me about my performance.
Well, it sounds to me like someone needs to remind you of how things work around here. Or are you just gonna keep up this back talk until I have no choice but to fire you?
Are you really threatening to fire me just over this? I think that's a little extreme, don't you? I mean, I just really don't think that would fly anywhere, especially given that we have this whole text conversation to serve as a record of what was said between us. But if the problem you're having is that I was the one who spoke to your daughter about being at work on time, then maybe you could talk to her about this problem. Because the fact of the matter is that, as I've already said above several times, her lateness really is starting to affect our output, and if you think your daughter could be put on the right track, then that would be a huge help to me. I think she would be more likely to listen to you anyways. Does that sound agreeable to you? I mean, you don't seem to want me to talk to her, so maybe if you could talk to her instead, that might be better?
Oh, so now you're trying to tell me what to do as well? You really just don't know when to shut your mouth, do you? Honestly, what in the world is it with your generation that you think you can just talk to anyone in any way that you want? I would have thought that you'd know better than to talk to me in this way, but I guess you just show everyone the same level of disrespect. Isn't that right?
Okay, I see that I've misspoken, and I'll make sure that nothing like this happens again. I'll return to work now. I am so sorry for any kind of misunderstanding that I might have caused between your daughter and I, as well as you and I, sir.
How many times am I gonna have to have this same talk with you, huh? Well, the last time was just that. As of today, you are fired from this job. I tried to warn you over and over and over again about not acting that way, but I guess you just thought that it was okay for the rules to apply to everyone but you. Well, now you're finally going to be facing the consequences of your actions, and you'll have no one to blame for this but yourself.
Mr. Perry, are you really going to fire me like this? Because if you're serious, then I suppose I'll have no alternative but to leave. But just know that this is really disappointing, and I really was hoping for better from this company. But you do realize that you're doing this all because I'm gently informing your daughter of how to act in the office. I really don't think that you're thinking about this rationally. You do realize that this could have serious repercussions, not just for you, but for the whole company in the future because of the way that you are choosing to handle this, right?
Is that what you call all the horrible yelling and chastising of my daughter? I thought I already warned you about not doing that. In fact, I know for a fact that we already talked about this, and I told you to knock it off already. All I have to do is scroll up, and like you said, I can see the text evidence of me telling you to stop doing the exact same thing that you decided to just go and keep on doing. We talked about this and you didn't listen to me, and now you're trying to say that this isn't fair? Give me a break! But if you're not going to listen to a direct order from your real boss, then it's obvious that I have no choice but to let you go. And it's not like you can say that I didn't give you a second chance or time to change your behavior. It's so obvious to me now that you were never ever planning to change your ways, and that you were always going to continue to show nothing but disrespect towards my daughter and contempt for me as your boss. So if you're ever wondering how it all came to this, just reflect on your own actions for a change. I just hope some trash like you learns how to listen to your superiors one day, because that's the only way that you're ever gonna make it in the real world. You need to realize that the world doesn't revolve around you, and that there are times when you just need to shut up and do what you're told.
I guess we'll just have to see who the real piece of trash is, won't we? Because if you think that you can talk to anyone, employee or not, like this, well, I think you might just be in for a very rude awakening.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me? You think that just because I'm firing you means that you can talk to me however you want? Here we go again with this insolent attitude of yours. Well, if I had any doubts in my mind about firing you already, which, for the record, I didn't have a single one of, this would have sealed the deal for me right now!
I'm just saying that your daughter shows up to work late every single day. She never does any actual work when she's here, and I've only ever seen her on her phone. All I'm saying is that she acts in no other way that I've seen other employees of any company that I've ever worked at behave. And I don't think that she was getting the talking to that she needed to be aware of how poorly she was acting. Are you really going to try and tell me that that isn't an employee in need of a talking to by someone? I mean, really, I just can't understand how you're reacting this way towards me when I really don't think that I've done anything wrong at all.
I'm telling you that you've got no right to be lecturing my daughter over every little tiny mistake she might happen to make while working here. I don't know how many times you're gonna make me repeat myself on this point, but if there was ever any problem that my daughter was causing here, then I would have gone and talked to her about it. For the last and final time, you are not her boss, and it was never your job to try and tell her what to do. It's not your place, and you need to learn some respect. You don't get to talk to people however you want just because you've worked here longer than them. Honestly, if you think that's all that seniority is at a company, then you have no respect for the real corporate structure that has kept this company going for generations.
I suppose we'll just have to agree to disagree on what the actual situation is. But if you want my opinion, you're being far too easy on Lily. I will tell you right now that if I went around my office and you asked how many people were happy with Lily's output, or if you asked about how well she was meeting her deadlines, well, I think the answers might really surprise you. Although now it seems to me like it might also be your fault who your daughter is seemingly incapable of changing her ways. So if I were you, I would be worried that this somehow gets traced back to you.
So now you're gonna try and blame all the problems you have with my daughter on me? I really don't think I've ever had to deal with such an uppity employee before. In all of my days, I just really don't think that I've ever had to deal with someone so disrespectful and presumptuous. If you think that you're ever gonna have an easy time getting along in any other company when you've got such a big chip on your shoulder, well, I think that you're the one that's gonna be in for a big surprise.
You know, your daughter actually told me the last time we talked that she was sick and tired of dealing with me and that she would have me fired. And now, here you are, firing me. So I have to ask, is this because your daughter came to you and asked you to do this? And I would think very long and very hard about how you want to answer that question. Because I think that if it ever came out that we're decided to fire me right now because of something that she told you, well then, I suppose it would really just come down to her word against mine, wouldn't it? Except that I can tell you right now that it won't just be my word. I've already told you all about how the whole office more or less feels the exact same about your daughter and having to put up with her laziness all of the time. In fact, if Lily did go to you and tell you that she wanted me fired, did she ever bother explaining to you why it is that she was being talked to by me in the first place? I mean, really, do you think that you actually got an impartial telling of events and what actually happened between the two of us? Because if not, I would just want to be very sure about what actually happened before acting on information from Lily.
Oh, this problem is much, much bigger than just you and my daughter now. If you really think that you can talk to your boss the way that you've been talking to me, then it's clear that there's just no place for you here. I don't ever want you to even step foot into this office building again. Do you understand me? You are fired effective immediately. I don't ever want to see your face again. You are never, ever, ever going to work for this company ever again as long as you live. In fact, if I had my way, I'd make sure that someone like you is never, ever, ever hired anywhere in this town again. I would make sure that you get put on a blacklist and that nobody would ever want to even have your name attached to their business ever again.
Well, okay then, if that's your final decision, then I won't spend any more time arguing my case. I can clearly see that any efforts towards that are just being wasted on someone as stubborn and pig-headed as you. I have spent the past several days trying to defend myself and calmly explain to you why it is that I had to have some talks with your daughter about her performance in this office, and you just refused to listen to a word of what I had to say. But all of this does make me think of one thing that I want to ask you, though. May I ask what you're going to tell HR and our managers about my firing? Because I think it might be difficult for you to merely be doing this because of how I treated your daughter. So, I'm just curious how you're going to present your case against me to the higher-ups in our office. After all, I am sure they are going to want to know why exactly you were firing an employee like me with a squeaky clean record just after one unverified complaint from another employee.
And just why in the world do you think I would type out everything I'm gonna say to them here for you to read? I'll find a good excuse to tell them that will make them all go along with my decision. I'm in charge of this department, and what I say goes. The only person at fault here is you for daring to try and argue with me after I warned you to stop going after my daughter.
I'm sorry, but I really think that I've been very calm and collected this whole time. The only one throwing around insults and using aggressive language here is you.
Oh, why am I even bothering to talk to someone that I've already fired? Can't you just shut your mouth, pack up your desk, and leave already? I already told you that I never ever wanted to see you again. Do you know how many times I've had to repeat my orders with you? In all of my time, I don't think that anyone has ever gotten under my skin as much as you have. You have no respect for your superiors, and you clearly don't care about anyone but yourself. I don't think that I've ever met someone as selfish and absolutely shameless as you.
Okay then, I understand. If this is how things are going to be, then I'll leave the office today.
Finally! At last you realized that even when fired, you still have to listen to me. I'm the boss in this part of the office, and my word is law. You wouldn't stop scolding my daughter, and now you're gonna pay for ignoring a direct order from me. Now get out of here and never ever come back.
I understand. I also understand that you're incapable of seeing things objectively and that you're not suited for the position that you have. So you should know that you are going to regret doing this. I will make sure of that. You think that you can treat people however you want, but you're not going to get away with this.
You're telling me that you're gonna try and make me regret firing you? And just what do you think you can even do against me now that you're fired, huh? Besides, I'm in charge here, so what I say goes. It's literally impossible for me to make a bad call because I'm the one who's in charge.
Yes, you are the one in charge, and that's what's going to come back to bite you. Anyways, I'll be taking my leave now.
Hello, Mr. Brown. I saw the message left on my desk that you wanted to talk to me about something. What can I do for you today? I was just wondering where in the world my granddaughter has gone to. Do you have any idea where she might have gone? I usually see her every day, but I just wasn't able to spot her today. Is she out or something? Where could she be? I'm sorry, I don't think I'm quite following what you mean by that, sir. Is everything okay? I don't really think I'd know at all whatever your granddaughter is doing or where she is. Sorry, I can't really be of any help on this. Well, it really is quite simple. I'm talking about my granddaughter. I want to know where she's gone. I know that she's supposed to be around here, but I don't see her, and I want to know where she is. Did something happen to her? I've been asking around, and everyone has been telling me that...
Now that my son has died, you can go ahead and start moving out. I'm sick and tired of you hanging out, and I don't want your kind of energy in the house.
Tracy, what are you talking about? Jack's funeral was just yesterday. I don't think I can even have this talk with you right now. We shouldn't be having this talk. It's too much.
And just how long are you going to be sad over this, huh? It isn't like it's going to bring him back from the dead or anything. He's gone, and you need to get out of here as well.
But you must understand how I feel. After all, your husband passed away and left you alone too, right? You can't just treat me like this because I've been something that I couldn't imagine would happen this early in our lives.
Oh, him? Well, yeah, I was actually super happy when he kicked the bucket. Not having to take care of that old bag of bones anymore was one of the best things that could have happened to me.
I don't believe you. That can't be true. Besides, you just moved into the house that Jack and I bought. I thought that we were going to be living together.
Well, you sure were wrong about that, weren't you? Now hurry up and pack your things. I want you out of the house as soon as possible. I'm not gonna deal with you anymore.
I don't understand. Just what do you mean when you say you want me out of the house? What have I actually done to you to make you feel this way towards me?
I mean that as Jack's mother, his house is rightfully my property. He definitely hasn't changed his will or anything like that, so I should be the sole beneficiary.
That isn't right. It's our house that we bought together as husband and wife. You have no right to the property. The only right you have is to visit it, and I don't even want that happening anymore if you're going to be like this.
Well, my daughter said that she is also going to be moving in, and I can't wait for her to, so we need the space. She's my daughter, so she'll do this for me.
Wait, Liana is going to be moving in as well? Since when is she allowed to do this? It's not her house either, so I don't know why you're trying to organize her to move into my house.
That's right, we talked and decided that there was no use paying for my place anymore if we had a brand new house already paid for. Obviously, Jack would have wanted us to have a place to live after he died.
I don't understand, though. The house is big enough for all three of us to live in comfortably. Can't we all just live together or something? Why make it any difficult than it already is?
What are you talking about? Why would I want to live with someone like you for? You're nothing to me with my son gone. You're a complete stranger to me now.
But this is the only place I have to live. You can't just throw me out onto the street when this is my home. It's not fair, Tracy. You really can't do this to your son's widow.
No, Liana and I want to live on our own as mother and daughter and don't want any outsiders bothering us. We don't have to deal with someone else's schedule or comings and goings. Stop being so selfish right now.
But I'm not. I'm offering to let you two come and live with me. I don't understand what is so wrong about that. I still have rights to this house, and you shouldn't have this sort of power over me.
I don't care what kind of charity you think you're giving us, but the fact is that we just don't want to live with you. We didn't like the way you do things in the house.
But what did I do? I don't know what I've done to make you dislike me this much. None of what you're saying is making any sense to me. It's like you're creating drama for no reason.
I don't need to justify myself to someone like you. Do you understand me? Anyways, the movers are going to be arriving in the afternoon, so make sure to have your bags ready by then.
Wait, you want me to move out of the house by today? Do you not understand how insane that is? It takes a lot of organization to move out of a house, especially if you have a lot of things.
That's right, and I expect you to leave us a hot meal for dinner, ready on the stove when you leave too. That's the least you can do for us when we move in.
You can't be serious. This is just getting ridiculous. I'm not going to do something like that if you're just going to kick me out. No way that is happening.
You know, that is what I dislike about you the most. How you almost have to complain and moan about every silly little thing. I'm so sick and tired of you, Tanya.
I wasn't trying to do that. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand why you're doing something like this to me when I've been nothing but nice to you and your family. I've just lost my husband, Tracy.
Anyways, if you really think that you can't move everything out by the end of the day, then at least pack the bare minimum and come back for the rest of your stuff later.
Still, this is all way too sudden. I can't just pack up and leave my own home. It's not fair. I have the right to be here as I bought this house with my husband. He's gone, but I should still be allowed to be here.
If you don't do as I ask, then I am not even going to bother buying a headstone for Jack. He'll just go in an unmarked grave somewhere.
You can't be serious. You would really do that to your own son? That's so not fair. He's not even here to speak for himself. Are you doing this just to spite me? Really, Tracy?
I won't buy it unless you do as I say and leave the house right now. He'll have nowhere to rest until you move out. You're not going to let that happen to your own husband, are you?
Okay, I understand. I guess I really don't have any other choice but to do that. I can't believe that you're going this far. How could you be like this to me? My name is Tanya, and I am 30 years old. 2 years ago, I married my husband, or should I say, late husband, Jack. 6 months ago, we discovered that he had cancer. The doctor said that it was surprisingly advanced. It all happened so quickly that I didn't even have time to get ready. It feels like it wasn't even that long ago that we decided to start a garden and try growing our own vegetables. We had so many other plans. We'd even almost finished the room where our kids would sleep, but he passed before we could have any. Still, after his passing, I had no idea that my mother-in-law, Tracy, and her daughter had such strong feelings for dislike for me. At the funeral, they didn't seem to cry or anything. They were just playing host to all of their relatives. But to ask for me to hand over my house? I really didn't know what to believe. But then, they showed up in the afternoon with a moving truck full of their things.
Tanya, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be taking this necklace that I saw in the pink jewelry box. It's mine now.
Oh no, I must have forgotten that in the rush to move out. Please don't touch that, just leave it where it is. I really don't want you having that. It was given to me. It's not yours to have.
No way, I already said that it's mine. Besides, it looks really expensive. Maybe I can sell it and get some cash. That would be a better idea, to be honest.
Please don't do that. It was the first gift that Jack ever bought me. You have no idea how much it means to me. You can't just touch my things and claim them as yours.
Just how long are you going to hang on to the past like this, huh? I mean, keeping something like this isn't going to help you get over my brother. Why don't you just move on and marry someone else?
How could you even say something like that? He just died, and you think I could even think to do something like that? Why are you being like this for, Liana?
I can be however I like towards you, since you're nothing but scum to my mother and I. Oh, by the way, I was just curious. Where are you staying now that we've taken over your house?
I couldn't go back to my parents. They live too far away, so I'm staying with some friends right now. They were nice enough to let me stay with them whilst this has been going on.
Oops. I guess we should have given you a little more heads up about taking the house, huh? Oh well. I mean, I don't care about what happens to you, really.
Well, if you really feel about it, how about giving it back to me? It doesn't need to be this way. I just want what is mine back in my hands, Liana. Is that so much to ask?
Oh, yeah, no, that really isn't going to work for my mom and I. Sorry, we need somewhere to stay as well, and this is the best place for us right now.
Well, how is it? Are you at least finding yourselves comfortable? Have you both made yourselves at home? In my home that belonged to me and your brother once?
I don't really mean to compliment you here, but the sense of decor and furniture is just amazing. I mean, this feels like something out of a magazine.
Thank you. I am really so glad that you're enjoying your time there. At least someone is enjoying it, even though I can't. It just doesn't seem right to me, Liana.
Well, the credit really goes to my mom. It was her idea to take over the house from you. She said that it was perfect since you two had already paid off everything for the house, right?
That's right. We were lucky enough to find a house that we could afford to pay off all in one single payment. It was very nice that the real estate company let us do that.
Wow, that is really just incredible. And in this market, but that was my brother, I guess. He always did make way too much money for his own good.
Anyways, can you please just promise to not touch anything that I might have left in my room? Your mom said that I would be able to come back and get my things later.
Oh, geez, you should have told me that just a little bit sooner. It's a bit late for that now, though. I've already had a look and feel of everything in this house, things I want and don't want.
What are you talking about? What have you done? You need to explain to me what you've been doing because you've got no right to go through my things.
Well, Mom is already laying out all the stuff that you left behind here and choosing what of it she wants to keep. Although knowing her, half of this stuff will probably end up in the pawn shop so that she can make some cash.
Are you serious? Would she really sell my things? Are you actually kidding me? Do you realize that she's got no right to do that when it's my stuff?
Again, knowing her, she probably would. But don't worry, this necklace won't get sold because I'll be keeping it. It's all mine now. I love this.
Wait, hold on for just a second. Please don't go through my room anymore. I have a lot of things that are really precious and valuable to me in there.
I don't really see anything else in here that could be that valuable. Maybe some of these clothes, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to rummage through it all again.
Please just leave everything there, okay? I am begging you to please leave those be. You can't do this to me. I want my things back. Just keep your hands off my stuff.
Well, what about some of these stuffed animals? They look like they could be worth something. This is great. I'm going to earn so much cash off this auction.
No, please don't. Whatever you do, do not touch those. I am being really serious right now. You can't do this. Not you or your mother. You can't just get rid of my things.
Oh, yuck. What the heck? This one looks like it could be a real animal. What is it? Oh, this is insane. Why must you have such crap in your house, Tanya?
It's just made to look that way, okay? But can you please just leave it be and not touch anything else? I'll be by soon to come and collect everything. Just give me a chance to get there.
Ugh, no, this is too freaky. I don't want this in my house. I am going to throw it away. This is gross and disgusting, and I don't want to stare at it any longer.
No, you can't do that. Please don't throw it away. Anything but that. You shouldn't be even touching it, Liana. I mean it. Don't throw anything away.
Well, I want to turn this whole room into a walk-in closet. I can't have all your old crap just lying around here and taking up space. I don't want anything else in my way.
I'll be over right now to pick everything up. Just please don't throw anything away. I'll take it all home with me, I promise. Just please don't throw anything into the trash. It means a lot to me.
Well, I changed the lock, so I don't see how you think you're going to be getting in. Your keys won't work, and you're not allowed to come in without one of us present.
You did what? Why would you do something like that? I need to get my stuff, so I need access to the house. You can't just lock me out of there. How dare you? Hey, answer me.
Hey, did you come over to our house while I was out? I've got the locks changed and everything, so how did you get inside? Oh, you're such a little cow. You needed permission first.
I had to come over and pick up some very important stuff that I had left there. But by the time I got to the house, it seemed like Franny had already thrown everything away. Everything I wanted was broken up and left unusable.
Oh yes, she told me all about how you got into a panic over stupid stuffed animals. Aren't you just a little too old to be playing with things like that?
But it's really important to me. You don't understand what it meant to me. You are literally just trying to ruin my life, and it's not fair what you're doing to me, Tracy.
Well, I see that you're still hanging around our front door. Just what are you still doing here? You're in my house, and you're not welcome here, so you need to leave right now.
I'm just waiting for someone is all, which is frankly none of your business, Tracy. I can do what I want as it is actually my house. Just stop this madness now.
And just who would want to be seen in public with you, huh? Is anyone even really coming? Or are you making all of this up just to scare me and my daughter, huh?
I was told that you were going to try and sell my things without asking me first. So what you're doing is very wrong, and I can't just sit by and let you take over. It's not right.
Well, you have so many nice clothes and expensive-looking bags. I'm sure that they'll fetch a nice price. It'll be nice to have more money in my account to spend on things that I want and that don't look tacky.
Please, don't touch those. So many of those were gifts for me from Jack for our honeymoon. You can't just sell them when your generous and kind son gave them to me out of love.
Well then, as his mother, I suppose I have just as much claim to them as you do then, don't I? Anyways, he's dead, and it isn't like he can do anything with these things anyway.
How could you say that about your own son? Don't you even care about what he would have wanted? It seems like you never appreciated what he did before he passed away.
What he wanted? And just who do you think you are to tell his own mother that she doesn't know what her son wants? Anyways, we're already done moving our things in, so I am the new owner of the house. It is as simple as that.
You really think that that makes you the new owner of the house? You're unbelievable. You know that, right? You can't just take over like it's your God-given right, Tracy.
Of course not. It's the fact that my son died that does. He died and he inherited all of his things. As his mother, that would obviously include his house. This is just common sense.
Well, you do know that it's my name on the deed, don't you? You know that everything's in my name, right? What do you think I've been trying to tell you this entire time, Tracy?
What are you talking about? Are you trying to tell me that this house didn't belong to Jack? Are you being serious? I thought that everything was in his name and that I'd get to inherit it.
I told him that I didn't want him to take on any debt or interest, so I paid for the house in full. Jack was paying me back his half in bits with his salary.
Wait, so you paid for this whole house yourself? Where did you even get the money for that sort of thing? How is this even possible? This doesn't make any sense.
But you've also completely misunderstood how inheritance law works. You've never tried to make yourself understand or listen to anyone, have you, Tracy?
What are you talking about? What did I get wrong? How could I possibly get anything wrong when I am a smart woman? I've got brains, you know.
Even if the house had been under Jack's name, the only person who could inherit it would be me. It's all because things were in my name, and if you actually had brains, you would know that.
What kind of nonsense are you spouting now? Don't be ridiculous. You and him weren't even blood related. How could you get the house before me?
That's just how the law works. And had we had children, then his things would have been split between the two of us. But you never had a right to any of his things.
But I'm his mother. Oh, that can't be right. I should have the first say in all of this. I come before all of you because I'm the matriarch. That's how it's supposed to work.
I'm sure you think that's true, but the law says otherwise. It may work when you say it, but in writing, that's not how it works, Tracy. You've really got no idea, do you?
But I don't understand. If your name is on the deed of the house, then why didn't you say anything to us before?
Well, you two are Jack's family, and so I thought of you two as my family as well. If you two really wanted to live in this house so badly, I didn't think Jack would want me to deny you two.
So then we can have this house? Everything's fine? You'll leave us both alone and hand everything over to me so that we can stay here for the rest of our lives?
Everything was fine, but I've since changed my mind.
Changed your mind? About what? Why? What did we do?
Well, you may be surprised to hear this, but it was nothing to do with how you've talked to me. The truth is, however, that I don't think either of you ever loved Jack.
How could you even suggest something like that? Of course I love him. He was my son.
You threatened to not even buy him a headstone over this house business. And you're also thinking of selling things that have a sentimental value to both him and I.
No, you've got it all wrong. There's been a big mistake here.
No, I am only going to ask you this once. Get out of my house.
You have got to be joking me right now. I mean, you're just a housewife. Do you really expect me to believe that you bought this house? With what money, huh?
I actually own my business making felt stuffed animals. I have been doing so ever since I was a teenager.
Felt stuffed animals? What are you even talking about?
I am talking about animals that I handcrafted with thread and needle. The one that Franny tossed out was just one example of my work.
Are you talking about that creepy, realistic stuffed animal thing?
That's right. Actually, the ones that she threw away were projects that I were working on for clients. They send me photos of their late pets, and I create a stuffed toy that looks just like them.
And so that's why they looked so creepy? Because they're supposed to be based off real animals?
That's right, and for the large size, I usually charge about $3,000.
You charge how much? And you have people who will pay you for that?
Well, it takes a lot of time and hard work to get them just right for my customers. I also have a blog where I upload pictures of my work and reach new customers. That is how I make my money.
Well, then I don't get what the big deal is. I mean, if you have that much money, just go and buy another house and leave us alone. Besides, this house is way too big for just one person.
That's right. Even I noticed that. That's why I was okay letting you two live in there without me.
Wait, someone just came to the door, didn't they? Who are you talking to now?
That would be my lawyer and a police officer.
What? What are they doing here? What is going on?
Well, you're stealing and illegally occupying my home. Those are both crimes.
What are you saying? I'm not committing any crime. This is ridiculous.
And my lawyer just came to show the police that record of purchase for the house, which clearly shows my name on it.
Please don't do this. Oh, surely we don't need to involve any police or lawyers. Can't we just talk all of this out?
What are you talking about? Do you really think that I am going to let you get away with selling all of my precious memories without making you pay? You have got a lot of nerve talking to me like that.
But I still have all the money from the things that I sold. I promise to give it all back if you just forgive me.
It isn't the money I want. It is all the precious memories that I have associated with all of the things that you sold. Those are things that no amount of money can even buy.
No, this isn't right. We can still figure something out.
You have no idea just how upset you've gotten me. My husband is barely even in the ground, but ever since he died, you have done nothing but heap more stress and guilt on me. I don't think I've ever been this angry before.
Okay, I get it. I understand. We'll leave your house, but just please tell the police officer to go away and forget about all of this.
I will not be leaving this spot until I see you being taken away in handcuffs. So you might as well just give yourself up and not cause a scene.
But we're scared. We don't want to be arrested. I mean, Jack is dead, and this is how you're going to treat his family? Can't we just make up and be friends? What if I tell my friends about your business? I know a lot of people who would love one of those toys.
I don't want you in my life, and I certainly don't need your help finding business for myself. I'm in charge now, and you need to remember that, because I'm the owner of the house, and you're not.
Please, can't we just talk? Just the two of us. I mean, we won't even have a home, and I've already quit my job because we had this place.
Well then, I guess you better start applying to some new ones then, huh? Because I am going to be suing you for all that you've done.
But I'm your mother-in-law. Would you really sue your own mother-in-law? You can't do that to me when I am literally a family member. Oh, please don't be like this.
Oh, don't worry. You'll find out for yourself soon enough. I am going to take you to the cleaners and make you pay for what you've done to me.
You're terrible. You're a monster. How could you do this?
And then I am going to be selling that house. I don't even want to live there anymore after the way you've ruined it.
Well, if you're going to sell it anyways, then can't you just give it to us? We need a place to live.
No, I am going to take that money and buy a house next to the ocean, just like Jack always wanted.
What do you mean? He wanted a house near the ocean?
That's right. He told me that it was always his dream to have a house close enough to the ocean that he could see it.
Oh, he did always like the water, ever since he was just a little boy.
But he told me that the reason he would never do it is because you were getting old, and he didn't want to be too far from you. So he chose to live close to you instead.
You mean, my little boy, he did that for me?
And despite that, the only time that you would ever come over before he died was when you wanted money from him.
But he never once told me any of this. Why didn't he tell me?
He said that we would wait until you passed to move into his dream house. I didn't want to make you feel bad for the choices he'd made for you, but I am going to make a replica of him, and Jack and I are going to live by the ocean just like he'd always wanted.
But, you'll still give us money when we need it, right? Just like Jack would have wanted, won't you?
Of course not. You have your pension, and you'll find a job. I can't believe that you convinced Jack to pay you $2,000 a month on top of all that. Just what were you using all that money for?
Well, you know how I like to gamble, don't you?
You used all of that money just to gamble?
I mean, there are certain tables that they won't let you sit at in the casino unless you're willing to put up a certain amount of money. I just wanted to feel like a high roller is all.
I don't believe this. If Jack knew what you were spending all of his money on, well, I am just glad that he was spared this whole horrible episode.
Oh no, the doorbell just rang. Who is that? Is it you? Is it the cops?
Why don't you come outside and see for yourself?
No, please, I don't want to be arrested. Oh, please don't do this to me.
You are going to find out who it was one way or another. You might as well go in a dignified manner, no?
Please, I can't go to jail. Anything but jail, please.
Tracy and her daughter finally agreed to come out of the house without a fight. They were both arrested for trespassing and were made to hand over their receipts from the pawn shops. The total bill served to them for selling or destroying my belongings amounted to $50,000. That price also included compensation to my clients who were waiting on their stuffed animals. The two of them had to take out loans to pay all they owed back and are now living in a tiny apartment where they barely make ends meet. I heard that Tracy still goes to the casino, hoping for a lucky break that will save her from all this. As for me, I move to a quiet home in the seaside and spend my days with Jack by my side.